The Democratic Alliance's recent advertisement, 30 seconds in length, in which they burn a digital flag of South Africa, has really gotten a lot of people up in arms from all over South Africa. A lot of panties are in a bunch. You don't see any of these people speaking up for free speech in the midst of a draconian suppression of free speech piece of legislation signed by President Cyril Ramaphosa into law. But this bothers people. City Press published an op-ed by former Nelson Mandela Foundation president and current executive director of Rahata Mall, Sello Hatang, entitled DA Must Apologize for Its Unpatriotic, Disrespectful Election Ad. He went on to say that symbols such as national flags should hold profound significance, representing the collective identity and aspiration of the nation. Well, I don't disagree with that, but censoring political speech is not the answer. I don't agree with the burning of the U.S. flag, but people do it all the time, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by that. By burning the national flag, the Democratic Alliance not only failed to make a coherent point, but also displayed a tone deafness to the power of symbols in communicating beyond mere words. Okay, let's take you at your word. He went on, political parties must exercise greater sensitivity and responsibility in their messaging, recognizing the importance of symbols such as the flag in shaping national identity and fostering unity. Political parties, what, like the economic freedom fighters that sing songs exhorting their followers to murder white South Africans? Would that be an example of political parties that need to exercise responsibility in their messaging? What about other political parties exercising responsibility in their messaging? Parties like the African National Congress that openly profess their racism and use their majority in government to oppress ethnic minorities. He continues, burning the national flag cannot be equated to burning the ANC's flag, yet the advert seems to blur this critical distinction. It reflects a fundamental misunderstanding of the role of national flags in uniting people and fostering national pride. Now, Mr. Sello seems to be incapable or simply unwilling to recognize political speech when he sees or hears it, unless it suits his worldview. I suppose the concept of a visual metaphor is lost on Sello. The burning flag is obviously not an attempt to burn the country down, nor is it disrespectful of the national symbol, but rather it is a patently obvious visual clue to note what the ANC is doing to South Africa, namely, the house is on fire. That's the message. The purpose of political speech is to draw attention. In this, the Democratic Alliance has succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, no doubt. Whiny white liberals who have nothing to say about the country falling apart at the ANC's hand, along with black supremacists, are up in arms over the 30-second advert. Mission accomplished, DA. That lot were and are never voting for change. They would never vote for the DA, so it really doesn't matter what they have to say. Both those whiny white liberals and black supremacists profit from the chaos and kleptocracy currently running South Africa. Change is the last thing that they desire. Now, he went on to say that some have drawn parallels between this act and historical tactics employed by the apartheid National Party, invoking the specter of Svat Geva. What? This pathetic race hustling is so sad to see perpetuated into 2024. The South African national flag is a multiracial symbol of unity, not a black pride flag. Sello also said that this raises a fundamental dilemma. How can a party seek to lead and represent a populace that seemingly disrespects or holds in contempt? Are you talking about the African National Congress? The act of burning a flag not only undermines the principles of unity and patriotism, but also calls into question the sincerity of the party's commitment to serving the interest of all South Africans. How so? It didn't target any South Africans specifically. It sent a warning message, put up a flare that the country is on fire. It affects everyone. This dunderheaded commentary by Sello can only be the product of misspent youth. I wonder which indoctrination center he attended. Which college campus he went to school at. He continues, at its core, the issue delves more deeply than just causing offense. It strikes the very essence of our founding principles as a nation built on dignity and equality. I'm sorry, did I miss Mr. Hatang or the Nelson Mandela Foundation filing amicus briefs in the court case against Julius Malema over calling for racial murder? No, they did not stand on principle for the argument he now seeks to make over the flag-burning advert. No one's dying over the 30-second advertisement, but the exhortation. So who is Sello Hatang? Well, the former Nelson Mandela Foundation president was cleared of allegations of misconduct back in 2021, but came under fire again in 2023. Hatang was accused, among other allegations, of abuse of power, the misuse of government or company credit cards, and improper procurement after an email was sent to the chairperson of the foundation's board, Professor Ndebele on the 14th of December 2020. He voluntarily took special leave while the investigation was underway, and he was cleared. Yet last year, he was fired from the Nelson Mandela Foundation 2 years later, where he had worked for over 15 years over undisclosed allegations purportedly proven in an independent but not shared report. And this is what the foundation had to say. After considering the outcomes of the independent investigation and ensuring that the process had been conducted fairly and without prejudice, the board concluded Mr. Atang's conduct had been unbecoming and was unacceptable for someone in his position, and that he should be summarily dismissed, Foundation's chairperson, Ndebele, said in a statement. Now, to be fair to Mr. Atang, the leaders of organizations are all too frequently targeted and unfairly or falsely accused of a multitude of things by jealous or ambitious subordinates, peers, or competitors. So we really do not know what happened there. However, if Cello's race hustling op-ed in City Press is any indication of his character, perhaps it is just as well he is no longer associated with an organization that purports to be non-racial. This op-ed is yet another sad, pathetic, race-hustling piece of garbage that comes out of South Africa. Everything is always blamed on race. Everything is always the responsibility of a non-existent, fictional group of people who are trying to hold someone down. The actual people holding down the rest of South Africa are the ruling ANC, who are stealing blindly and passing laws to censor speech that challenges their position. And that's what cowards do. They abuse power. That's what communists and socialists, they abuse power. That's what the Democrats are doing. That's what bureaucracy is doing here in America, silencing speech by colluding, cajoling, or coercing social media companies to do their bidding and silence speech in violation of the First Amendment. And nobody has been charged with a crime. Yet millions of Americans have been harmed. Millions of American businesses have been harmed by this conduct. And the same thing happens in South Africa, where uttering the word begins with a K, which means unbeliever in Arabic, can land you a felony conviction in South Africa. But singing murder white farmers is just considered heritage. There you have it, folks. More race hustling. The DA has got the attention it was seeking. Their metaphor, their visual metaphor, seems to be striking home, and it has struck fear into the hearts of whiny white liberals and black supremacists.